Hi, my name is Michael Fote, and this is my introduction speech. I'm not going to tell you some super embarrassing story. I could probably introduce myself a little bit better by a memorable moment. So in the speech, I'm going to tell you about my most memorable moments, and I'm also going to tell you a few things about myself. Before we get into the memorable moments, I will tell you a few things about myself, and we can get to the story after that. A few things about myself. I'm 31 years old. I'm currently enrolled at Clark State for computer networking. I graduated this spring. I'm super excited about that. I have a girlfriend of 8 years. Her name's Erin. I live with her and my dog Charlie. I've had him for about 3 years now. It's a great dog. Never really a dog person until I had a lab. Labs are great. Let's see. I guess some of the other things. I don't really like football too much. I never really got into too many sports. I did play football in school, but I don't care to watch it too much. Every once in a while I will. One of my big interests are supercross, however. Anything that pretty much has to do with dirt bikes and off-road, I definitely enjoy it. I have a bike. I ride sometimes. Not as much as I'd like to, but it's a great feeling to ride. Where I used to ride most of the time was on a farm where I grew up, and that has something to do with that memorable story that we were talking about. So I guess I'll tell you, that leads me to the story. Basically, the most memorable moment I've had ever, there's no comparison whatsoever. 2001, the house that I grew up in was torn down. Some land developers bought the property, and obviously the old farmhouse that was on it, they were going to tear it down. I didn't actually get to see the house being torn down, but I saw the aftermath. 2 points about what I saw that made this very memorable. One thing is actually what I saw, and the second thing is what I heard. Actually, it was described to me how the house actually got torn down by my sister. She described it very well. I'm sure it stuck in her mind as well as it did mine. She basically described a machine that tore the house down that looked kind of like a lawnmower. Underneath, they had reciprocating blades, and on an articulating arm, it would actually press these blades into the house. She said it went down quick. She said it only took 15 to 20 seconds to tear the whole house down. That stuck with me because the house always seemed so rigid. You know, you grew up in the house, and when you're little, the house just seemed so big and so strong. It seemed 100 foot tall and bulletproof. So that was when she told me that, the thing that I heard, and that really moved me, actually enough to go out and see the house. The second part is the story that really made this memorable is what I saw when I went there. When I showed up, obviously the first thing that I looked at was just a pile of stuff. It was just brick and wood, just reduced to a pile of what used to be the house that I grew up in. That really, will always stick in my memory, seeing that house like that. I also looked, when I was there, I looked at where the house used to be. If you were standing at the porch, I kind of looked up, and every square inch of the house I could remember, and the presence of the house was undeniable. It was like it was still standing there. It was that memory was so intense. I could never get it out of my head. From time to time over the years, I think about that place, and I always remember that, just that presence that it still has. I could probably go to the same place right now and still have that feeling of that house still standing. That's definitely my most memorable moment. So that's my most memorable moment. So in my introduction, I've shared with you a few things about myself, and I've also told you my most memorable story. So I hope you enjoyed, and hope you could get to know me a little bit better through this intro speech. And remember, some of the most memorable things, they tie into who you are somehow, some way. Thanks.